Why are you in here? What's up, y'all?
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Don't worry about us. You do your thing.
Okay.
There we go. Good job.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome. My apologies. Sincere apologies for the delay. On the what is it? The professional side.
Mhm.
Professional side, I had an event for a colleague that is leaving the hotel industry and going into a different industry. That's too much information, but we have someone that's leaving, and so we had a farewell celebration, and I wanted to make sure that we gave her her flowers and express gratitude and appreciation for her continued partnership with us. What's up, Monique? Happy Thursday to you. Hope all is well. Um, okay. So I've got, you can't see them, but I've got some audience members tonight. They're in the background, sitting in the foyer, big time kicking it. So we usually do here at the house um, a Wednesday night Bible study, but last night we missed it just because we were our schedule got a little out of whack. But we're back. And so tonight, I want to just talk briefly, not too long, um, about the topic is down below. Give it back, and I'm using the story of Hannah and First Samuel dedicating her child back to the Lord um, because God was honoring the request that she made, but also um, staying true with His word and God being a provider. Sonny, if you're gonna open the crackers, open. Don't be a disturbance for what you're gonna do. Thank you. What can I say? Here we are. So tonight, as we continue to dive into this topic of a vision and purpose, we have to be mindful of the give back. We have to be mindful. Hey, what's up, Mom? Listen, let me tell y'all something. If don't nobody else jump on the line, um, I can always guarantee that my mother's gonna jump on and be in the comment section because I'm her favorite son.
Oh.
All right, I'm done meddling. Yeah, so we are still in this series of vision, of purpose. This is the year of greater, right? We're taking the lead from She Hustles and Prays. That this is the year of greater. That it is the year of greater creativity, greater intensity, greater focus, greater commitment, greater dedication, just greater across the board. And the best way to get to greater is here, right? It starts in your mind. It starts in how you think. It starts in how you approach things. It starts in your mindset and your preparation, right? Your preparation. And so tonight, I really want to just kind of get into this thought of give it back. That what God gives to us, here we go. That what God gives to us, He does not give to us for us to hoard it. He does not give it to us for us to keep it close to the vest. He does not give to us in order for us to look at us and say, "Hey, this is what we did. This is what we got in return." But all that we receive from God, God gives to us so that we might be able to give it back to Him, right? Um, you can look at it from the concept of a tithe. You can look at tithing. You can look at it from a concept of an offering. You can look at it from a concept of um, sharing of your gift, right? That what God gives to you, God is always looking for an ROI. What is an ROI? It's a return on His investment. That what He gives to us, right? What He gives to us in His Son Jesus Christ, God says, "Listen, I'll sacrifice my greatest asset I'll sacrifice my greatest asset. I will pour out myself into flesh and humanity. I will make him my son. I will call his name Jesus. He will save his people from their sins. And in exchange for such a move, I will be able to redeem the world from their sin. Right? That is the process of salvation. That is the restoration of the covenant with us, or us with God and God with us. It is necessary that Jesus walk the earth, that he live the life, that he would become human, right, and walk with us, talk with us, and understand all that we see and endure, so that he would be the perfect sacrifice for our sin. Okay. And that his kingdom would be established, right? It is the fulfillment of what the prophets foretold. It is the fulfillment of what was spoken in Old Testament times, that Jesus is the Lamb of God that is slain before the foundations of the world, for us to have an opportunity to have a relationship with God. We can't take that for granted. We cannot take our relationship with God for granted, because of the price that's paid for him to connect with us, all right? For us to connect with him and him to connect with us. But this concept of giving back, it's not foreign. It's not something that's abstract, but it is necessary. Hannah comes to us, and she has not had a child, and she is sorrowful, and she's worried and concerned, and she's just looking for answers. But she does make a promise. I'm paraphrasing here. She makes a promise. This story can be found, 1 Samuel, the first chapter, verse 8 through 7 through 18, and then we see the manifestation of that promise, or of that situation in 19, where Samuel is born and dedicated. I hate to be a spoiler, but it's in there. All right. And so what Hannah represents for us, is a life, is a person. It is a scenario in which one has a need, a desire, but is also filled with sorrow, filled with grief, and filled with pain. Right? The pain. I've never birthed a child, so I don't know what it feels like to carry one. All right, let's talk tonight. I've never birthed a child, so I don't know what it feels like to carry one. I have helped to create children, but I don't know what it feels like to carry that. So I've never been in the shoes or the mindset of a woman. I can only look from a far perspective, as far as I am to my wife, and to make an assumption as to what that might feel like, right? So to have the faculty of being able to give birth, to have the faculty of being able to carry a child, but not being able to do so to date. And here, let's read it. Let's go 8. 1 Samuel 8. Then Elkanah, her husband, said to her, Hannah, why do you weep? Why do you not eat? And why is your heart grieved? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? So Hannah arose after they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh. Now Eli, the priest, was sitting on the seat by the doorpost of the tabernacle of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed to the Lord, and wept in anguish. 11 says, this is 1 Samuel, first chapter, verse 11, I'm on now. Then she made a vow, okay, and said, O Lord of hosts, if you would indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant, and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a male child, that I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall come upon his head. And it happened, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli watched her mouth. Now Hannah spoke in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she was drunk. So Eli said to her, how long will you be drunk? Put your wine away from you. But Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor intoxicating drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Do not consider your maidservant a wicked woman, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief I have spoken until now. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant you petition which you have asked of him. And she said, Let your maidservant find favor in your sight. So the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. The reading of God's word for the people of God. Thanks be unto God. So here we have this very small scriptural excerpt of the story of Hannah and her interaction with the priest Eli. In that her grief, let me say this: that in her grief, she was misunderstood, right? And as we're talking about this concept of giving it back, the core thought that I want to wrap this thing around is that in giving it back is the process in which that which we've asked God for, we don't hoard, right? That which we've asked God for, we do not hoard. For example, we don't hoard it as our own. For example, God, I need a job. When we get the job, we forget that we prayed about it. All right. God, I need a breakthrough. When we get the breakthrough, we forget that we asked God for the breakthrough, and then we keep going about our business. God, I need transportation. I need healing for my mind, for my spouse, for my significant other, for my mother, my father, whomever. And when we receive what it is that we prayed for, we go in the other direction as if we never asked for it. The problem with that is that it negates the work that God has done to bring us to that place. And when you do not remember what's up, y'all? Appreciate you hanging out with us. We're not going to be here long. When you negate the work that God has done in your life, you mismanage the moment, and you mismanage the possibility of greater. All right, we talked about this is the season of greater, right? This is the year of greater. When you mismanage what God has given to you, in that, yeah, you received the job, yeah, you got the offer, yes, you're in the relationship that you've been asking for, that you've been seeking, that you've been desiring, but when you get it, you forget where you got it from. We can call it. Yeah, absolutely. We can call it selective amnesia, right? Selective amnesia, meaning I am specific, I'm intentional about what I want to remember, and I am very, very clear and concise about things I want to forget. Be careful. Be careful when you start to tiptoe into that arena, in that space, because you're now moving into a space where ungratefulness can settle, where entitlement can take residence, and when you live in a space where you think you're the cat's meow, you've got it all going on, that you don't need God, and that God needs you, you have now switched places with God, and now you expect God to serve you, and you don't serve God. I'm talking tonight, not here long. I'm talking tonight. All right. In this aspect of this thought, right? This thought of giving it back merely, by definition, is dedicating what God gave to you back to Him. All right. I don't want to get lofty tonight. It's dedicating what God's given to you back to Him. Hannah is in a space where she's like, yo, I need to bear a male child because in this culture, in this societal work, this is what's considered acceptable. This is what's considered worthy. I don't want to feel less than, right? Which is a whole nother piece in the biblical construct. And so I understand the demands that are on me as a woman, even in today's society. While I am not one, all of you who are on this live, who are women, can understand the strife and the struggle and the strain that can come from having to live in the tension of that space where you feel like society is putting its expectations on you to do this, to look this way, to dress this way, to act this way, to speak this way, to produce this, to produce that. It can be a strain. As an African American male, I've got the tension of that there is a an unspoken necessity of being confident, but yet not too overly confident. There's a necessity of you can demonstrate dominance, but don't you be too intimidating. So there's the duality of this, right? There's the duality of that. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Kingdom Talk Live, Kingdom Hustle Community. We're talking about give it back. That what God gives to us, we must dedicate back to Him. So when we talk about God expecting an ROI, a return on His investment, that He gives us so much, right? That it is irresponsible. I'm gonna say it. It's irresponsible for us to take from Him and not give anything back. I'll say it again. It's irresponsible of us to receive from God and to not give something back. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And so Hannah is living in that tension. She says, "Listen, I'm sorrowful." She's having an interaction. The text tells us that she's having an interaction with her husband, and her husband is just like, "Babe, what's wrong? Like, why am I not enough for you? Am I not equivalent to you having 10 sons?" Right? And that's for him to say that. If I can dive into that quickly, there are some things that as a husband, as a significant other, there are some boxes your presence will never check off. Am I accurate in saying that?
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that even though you're a provider, you are strength, you're present. There are some things that just being a spouse does not check the box off for. That's what I honestly believe. Just because you're married, just because you're in a relationship, just because you guys enjoy spending time in each other's company, and you feel as if you've got great conversation, great chemistry, there are some things that you will not ever be able to satisfy. No matter how hard you try, you will not be able to satisfy it. This is kind of tipping into like a relationship piece, but it's kingdom, right? We're talking about it. So you got to understand that there's always going to be some type of limitation and some itch you can't scratch and some corner that you can't crawl into. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. There's always going to be an area of desire or longing, right? And Hannah is feeling that. And her husband is not able to satisfy it. And so she's like, "Listen, I'm sorrowful. I feel less than." And some of us, I'm not saying we're going through that season, but we've had seasons where we felt like we were less than. And that's not germane to male or female. That's just humanity. We have seasons where we feel like, man, I do not have what it takes. I'm struggling. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. I'm in a spot where I didn't budget on being here. I didn't plan on being here. Hell, I didn't even ask to be here. But I'm here nonetheless. That may not be you tonight. That's part of my testimony. There's certain things in my life I did not ask for, but God still sent me into that space, into that season, into that environment without my permission. And some of us have to check our egos at the door because we're mad at God because God allowed it. Mm. We're upset with God. We're ticked off with people. We don't want to talk to our mama. We don't want to be bothered with nobody because we're upset about the season that we've been placed in, not dropped in. Dropped means I made a mistake. Placed in means I put you there intentionally. Mm. Sometimes God will He will place us in seasons, in circles, in spaces and places, not because He's mismanaging us, but he's developing us. Do y'all hear me tonight? That sometimes the season, the go through and the get through, so you can get to, is for your development.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to upset you. It's not to make you feel like an outcast. None of that is there for any of that reason. It's there for your development. But we now live in a culture where people want instantaneous success. They want the house, they want the car, they want the spouse, they want the imagery they see online. Social media has sold them a dream. Their friends have sold them a dream. The influencers have, TV media has sold them a dream, right? But what do when what you dreamed isn't a reality and you feel like you're in a nightmare? What do? What do? Hannah shows us what it looks like to, in essence, give it back to God. Because she's got two male figures around her, two individuals that do not understand her pain. They don't understand her frustration. They do not understand what's going on with her. In fact, they try to insert what they think is going on with her. That's why her husband can come and say, am I not enough? Am I not equivalent to you having a tribe of sons? And essentially swinging the conversation off of her and to him. Come on. I know you don't have those people in your life that when you have an issue, when you're down, when you feel like you're ain't nothing going your way. I know you don't have those people in your life that show up and talk about themselves. I know you don't. I know you don't have those people. Those people don't exist in your life. Your circle is tight. You don't have those issues. You don't have those issues at all, right? You don't have those issues. But how do you handle someone making the narrative about them? How do you handle that? How do you handle someone making the narrative about them? I'm wounded. I'm hurt. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. And all you can do is show up and point to you. You're supposed to hold me down. You're supposed to take care of me. And when I need you, you focus on you. We got a problem. We got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So she's not only dealing with the fact that her husband is insensitive to her needs. Y'all should share this. Share this with your girlfriends, your mama, your auntie, whoever. Her husband is sick by his response. I'm sure that if I'm assuming, I don't think that's his intent. I just think maybe he doesn't know how to communicate. And sometimes that's the challenge. Sometimes whether it's man, woman, and child, we lack the emotional intelligence and IQ to effectively communicate what we're actually thinking, right? And when we have that lack of communication, we say things that we don't mean. And once we say it, it's out of our mouth and it's too late. And now you're trying to go back and grab words that have spewed out of your mouth because you didn't have the emotional intelligence to craft your words and temper your response to what it is that you're facing. Hence, you get Hannah's husband asking questions, trying to satisfy his own masculinity. We deep tonight. I didn't mean to go here like this. Trying to satisfy his own masculinity in a moment where his wife needs his words of affirmation, but he's too busy trying to patch up wounds from his own past and address issues of inadequacy. These are things that are not on the lines of the text. These are the things that I believe are in between the lines of the text. Why else would he come and say, am I not better than 10 sons? Somewhere along the line, somebody dropped him. We going here tonight. And so, do I get upset with the fact that you said what you said, or, and from the perspective of Hannah, do I extend grace to you and realize somebody mishandled you somewhere? Am I talking tonight?
Yeah.
Somebody mishandled you somewhere. So what you said, you probably didn't mean, but you said it anyway, not because you meant it, but because you didn't know no better. And many of us have hoarded and held on to frustration and being upset and being disturbed by commentary that was made towards us from people, watch this, who just didn't know no better. They didn't know how to communicate. They didn't know how to talk. They didn't know how to handle your heart. They just didn't know. You gonna be upset with them? Or are you going to extend the grace that somebody should have showed them, but now you got to do it even though you're hurt? But this is not the first example that Hannah gives us. I said we almost done. This is not the first example that Hannah gives us about moving forward. Hannah also encounters the priest Eli. Now, Eli's sons are, as we see later in the biblical text, they acting a fool. They stealing portions from the tithe and offerings that's been sent to them. He got sons stealing animal parts for their own consumption. It's a whole thing. It's a whole mess. You got a misappropriation of funds. It's a mess. It's a mess. And now Eli comes to her and sees her in a vulnerable place. In a vulnerable place where she is communicating her heart. She is sharing what's on her heart with God in prayer. Now, what Eli sees, the text says, is that he sees her praying and he sees her lips moving, but nothing's coming out. Now Eli, keep in mind, is the priest. And the priest makes the assumption here that what she's doing is the act of someone who is intoxicated from wine, is the act of someone who is drunk. In other words, man, she done had too much to drink. She's stressed out. She's sorrowful. She is managing her pain through the consumption of alcohol. And he says that because her mouth is moving, but ain't no words coming out. So in other words, he sees her and makes an assumption. He's the priest. He is the one, right? He is the one that is to be caring for the soul, for the spiritual well-being of the people that he is entrusted with. But what happens, we go in here, what happens when the people that are assigned to your soul assume the worst? What happens? What happens when the people that are assigned to pray for you, the people that are assigned to cover you, the people that are assigned to be your pastor, your pastors and your spiritual leaders, and voice of reason and comfort and counsel, what happens when they make assumptions about you? We are living in an era that we have never seen before. We are living in a time where people are not going to church, where people are not reading their Bibles, where people are not spending time. We're dealing with an age and a generation that's not even ascribing to having a relationship with God. So I do not find it odd, right? I don't find it odd that we're now encountering spiritual leaders who have misappropriated funds, who have mismanaged the people that God has entrusted them to, who have done things, who have been self-serving, who have not had the people's best interest in mind, or even God's best interest in mind, but they've served in spaces and places for so long that this has become not no longer ministry, but business, but not even business. It's a way of life. It's their lifestyle. So much so that you've got professional churchgoers, meaning the church is their profession. It's a dangerous spot to live in. It's a dangerous spot to live in. And so this is Eli. I'm not being messy, but this is Eli. Eli is living in this world. He's not bivocational. He does not have another job. He is the priest. He is responsible for the spiritual well-being of the people that he is entrusted to. And he sees, for lack of a better word, one of his parishioners praying, and he assumes the worst. How do you handle life circumstances when the people that are supposed to help you assume the worst about you? How do we navigate that? How do you navigate that? How do I navigate overcoming your assumption about me based upon what you think? I've said it in weeks past. I said your thoughts are killing you. That's from the clergy to the pew. Your thoughts are killing you. Our thoughts are killing us. What we think, what we perceive. You can talk your way out of $1 million idea. You can talk your way out of a promotion. You can think your way out of a thing that God has already designed for you. You're too gifted to not ball out. I'm not a prosperity preacher, but you're too gifted. You're too gifted to live in the shell, in the bubble that people have placed you in. And you know what you've done? You've accepted it. I know it's nobody on this line. Ain't nobody here. It's nobody on this line. But for those that have, the only limits that exist on your life are the ones that you permit to stay there. That's it. The only limits that abound in your life are the ones that you allow to stay there. B&L Wings, what's up? Bradwick and Lawanda. Okay. That's where the limit is. You allow the limit to stay there. And so I'm gonna cut to the chase. Hannah says, listen, I'm dealing with this patriarchy structure for my husband, masculinity override from my husband. Now I'm getting it from the priest. But here's what I'm gonna do. They don't understand me, but I got one more in the chamber. One more shot I can shoot. And this shot I ain't gonna miss. What she does, she says, listen, I'm gonna talk to the Lord. They for whatever reason, he was dropped emotionally as a child, my husband, and so he thinks my frustration is it triggers something in him, so I can't talk to him about it. The man of God that's supposed to pray for me, cover me, protect me, and intercede for me, he thinks I'm drunk. Can't talk to him about it. But here's what I'm gonna do: in the midst of all of this, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be dedicated to God because I know He's the only one that can help answer my question, solve my problem, and address my need. So I'm gonna make my inquiry known to Him. I'm not gonna waste my time giving it to the priest so he can intercede on my behalf. I'm gonna go to God myself. Now this is countercultural because at this time in Old Testament, the priest was supposed to go before God on behalf of the people. But Hannah is so dedicated and so committed and sold out on what she wants from God. She says, I'm going to break the rules. I'm here now. I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to talk to God myself and make my request known. because nobody else around me understands my sorrow. But there is someone who knows my inner workings that can help me go there. And so I'll talk to him. But I understand this, that when I speak to him, I'm done, y'all. When I speak to him, I cannot come just with my hand out. That's the challenge that you and I face. We got to make sure that when we come to God, we don't come with just a hand out saying, God, I need this. God, I got a bill. God, I got this tuition. God, I got this mortgage. God, I got this business. God, I need this from you. Because it's a relationship. Come get me tonight. In any good relationship, it's not 100% one way or 100% the other. It's both parties giving 100% all the time. It is a constant flow, right? And so listen, it is a give and it's a take. It is a give and it's a take. It's a give and it's a take. Hannah recognizes, listen, I just can't come to him with my hand out. I got to be able to offer him something. People think I negotiate for a living. I understand that when I get to the negotiation table, I'm going to have to give up something in order to receive something. All right. Kingdom is also business. I'm going to have to give something to receive something. I cannot go to my favorite wing spot in Atlanta and expect them just to give me B&L Wings. Shout out. I cannot go to B&L Wings and tell them to give me a 30 piece and I don't pay for it. Because there is an established relationship there. It's a transaction, which means I'm asking for something, but I'm also prepared to give something in exchange. So it is with God. If I'm going to ask God for a new job opportunity, if I'm asking him for a new job opportunity, I have to give him a worthy vessel that he can then market and promote. Which means my resume got to be tight. I gotta call some, check them out. I gotta call some references. I gotta get my references in order. I need to update my resume. Hannah says, listen, I'm going to God, but I realize that if I ask him for the son that I've been desiring, I have to be prepared to do something in exchange. And she says, listen, I understand the master negotiator. He is the prince of princes. He is the king of kings. He is the Lord of lords. I got my preacher voice on now. And I recognize that when I come to the negotiation table with the creator of the universe, I cannot just have my hand out, but I must reach my hand up. I reach it up in partnership because Hannah she recognizes that she must be in partnership with God because she knows God can do it. She believes God can do it. And because she's aware of that, she's aware she's got agency to ask for it. What she does, she says this, I'm going to get what you give me. Watch this. It means so much to me to have it that I'm willing to give what you give to me back to you. Y'all come get me tonight. She says, God, if you bless me with this son, and she's specific, we got to be specific with our prayers. Don't just ask God to bless you. What do you want? What are you asking for? So when Solomon got the keys to Israel and he was a leader, God said, what do you want? And Solomon was specific. He didn't ask him for money. He didn't ask him for wealth. He did not ask him for influence. He asked him for wisdom. Because he knew if he had wisdom, he could make all those decisions. And then God said on top of that, because you didn't ask for that, I'm going to give you incredible wealth. I'm going to give you exceeding riches. I'm going to blow your mind, Solomon. And I know you got an issue with women. But because you asked for the right thing, I'm going to give it to you. Because you asked for wisdom. Be specific about what you want from God this day forward. If you want him to bless your business, ask for it. If you want him to open up a door, prepare for it. If you want him to bring a spouse, prepare for it. If you want greater, prepare for it. Do not discount what God can do because of the limits you placed on him. Get your limits off of him. They don't belong there. I'm upset now. Get your limits off of him. They do not belong there. Give it back to God. Hannah says, listen, I asked him for exactly what I wanted, and I made the decision that if he gave it to me and I was able to receive it, I got good enough sense to know that if God has given it to me, I ought to be able to give it back to him. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying tonight. What you ask of God, be prepared to give it back to him. Your business, dedicate it to him. All she does is dedicate her son back to him all the days of his life. Mm-hmm. She says, listen, I cherish him so much. I want to manage the blessing, but let me hold it. I want to hold it for you. I want to cherish it. I want to nurture it. I want to help. I want to see him develop, but he belongs to you. In other words, loan it to me. That's what. So that's the prayer that some of us got. God, loan me some customers. God, loan me some ideas. We out of here. God, loan me some wisdom. Loan me some discernment. Loan me some resources. Loan me a building. Loan me some the ability to execute, because everything belongs to God. But if everything belongs to you, and I absolutely believe that, can you loan it to me? Because if you loan it to me, I promise to give it back to you. And I promise to give it back to you because it falls into the principle of the talents, that what you give to me, I do not have a responsibility to just sit on it and wait for you to come back. I have an obligation and an opportunity and the privilege of flipping that thing. Flipping ain't just for drug dealers.
All right.
I'm here now. You got to flip it. Flip your gift. Flip your talent. Flip your insight. Flip your resources. Die empty. I'm done. I got nothing else in the clip. I'm about to go eat dinner. I'm tired. Give it back to God. Hannah says, listen, what you give to me, God, I'm going to give it back to you. Because I want to honor you. Me giving it back to you shows you how much you mean to me. And I'm doing that because you mean the world to me. You mean the world to me. You are my everything.
How many have Archie can close out?
Listen, I'm finished, y'all. I'm done tonight. I'm done. Listen, give it back to God. Whatever it is that you've got, that you're working on. Don't judge me, Cheryl. I felt judgment. I was off. Okay, got it. We're back. I was off. Don't judge me. I felt judgment in the room. I don't want to be judged. Hold on. Can we still hear? It says microphone something. It's flashing in the top left-hand corner. I don't know what that means.
Jill, can you go and see if you can hear it? You have your AirPod?
Now it says it can't hear. That's what I was worried about.
What happened? Did you open your phone?
No, the thing came on.
What thing?
My battery thing came on. That said there's 20%. Now the thing can't hear me. One second. Hold on. Nobody can hear. Can y'all go on real quick?
I think can I do this? Hold on. Can I do this? Like, stay there.
Can you hear it, Jill? No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
From here. Never mind.
They said give it back. Hold on.
I was trying to. You need to grab.
No, it's fine. I got it. Hold on. We go out and come back in.
I hear something.
No, it's fine. I got it.
I just ended it. Sure. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here.
Okay, well, we're still live here on Facebook.
Sorry, y'all. Facebook Instagram went down. Hold on. Trying not to. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. Please.
It's okay. Shh. Everything's fine. Everybody stay calm.
I have to post a story. I have to post the whole thing.
Yeah, just post it.
So, okay.
Okay, I see you now.
All right, cool. Y'all, so sorry about that. Thank y'all for coming back. Thank y'all. My apologies. My studio assistants completely dropped the ball. They failed me. My studio assistants.
Oh, I want to say.
My studio assistants failed me. They failed me terribly.
You're supposed to end 10 minutes early and it would be fine.
Really? No, hold on. Relax.
He's gonna help you close out.
Okay. All right. I
It's
can
good.
hear
I'm turning it
it.
down.
Okay. All right.
I was just confirming.
Sorry about that. We're back. My studio assistants did not fail me.
Thank you.
They're very upset that I said that.
That's right.
Very upset. Listen. So all right. Let's get back to the subject. I'm closing out now. But give it back to God. Whatever it is that you're dedicating to Him this year, give it back to Him. Whatever you're asking of Him, be willing to dedicate it back to Him. It'll it will show your allegiance to Him, your how you feel about Him. In spite of the things that are going on externally for Hannah, she recognized that if I can dedicate the baby back to Him, the baby that He gives me, it would glorify Him and bring me so much joy. You shut me down now? I'm getting shut down now, y'all. My wife is shutting me down. All right. I got a guest tonight. I got a guest in the studio. Oh, hold on. You get to relax. I got a guest in the studio tonight that's going to help me close out. We've not scripted anything at all. So God only knows what's going to happen here. He's near and dear to my heart. One of my aces. Okay, you ready? All right, I got a guest. Come on, guest. Come on the screen.
Just walk up.
Just walk. Yeah, thank you. All right.
So if you enjoyed this live, join Kingdom Hustle community at Patreon. Yeah. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you. Okay, you can stay here. This is RJ. This is RJ. Say hi. Don't be creepy. Just wave hello. Thank you. This is my boy. He's 10 years old, great kid, super smart. About to be 11 in September. The year just started. Great. But yeah, this is part of the Kingdom Hustle tribe. It's fourth 25 percenters. We've got another 0.5% that are sitting in the production area, doing their thing, and so we are here, man. We're excited to serve. Yeah, man. All right, listen. It's no holds bar over here, man. We're going hard. Do you have something you want to say?
Thank God for joining.
There you go. He's super appreciative that you joined. Y'all didn't know it, but they were actually sitting in the behind the cameras, listening to the entire lesson. We had missed our family Bible study last night, and so I said, "Listen, I'm going live tonight. Y'all come get this lesson." And so while we were teaching you all, we were also teaching the kids as well. So it's super helpful because it's bigger than us, right? We'll pass through this life, and we certainly want to leave the generation better than how we found it, right? And so that's part of what we're doing here. Listen, I'm super grateful for all of you that are on tonight. Surely, I'm actually going to upload some additional content to Patreon, so be on the lookout for that. Certainly, if you want to connect with us at a deeper level, we have the Kingdom Hustle community, which RJ just shared with you. That's on Patreon. The link is in the bio there on our Instagram page. We are excited about what God is doing. We're like Diddy, can't stop, won't stop. And maybe we'll just bring him back, just to dance, just the jig, just like that. Because all the hearts go up, bro. All the hearts go up when you do the dancing thing.
Love y'all. Hey.
Okay.
All right, maybe we'll give him like his own segment or something. I don't know. His life is an entire vibe. The joys of being 10.
Oh, his barber's on.
Oh man,
We're done now.
My barber's on.
your barber's on. Tell him what's up.
What's up, Mr. JT?
Oh yeah. So listen, man, we are grateful. I don't even know if we released this, Cheryl. I don't even know if we released this one, the one that he has on. Did we release this one?
Not
I don't
in
think
that
so.
gray, not in that color.
Not that color, yeah. We like to keep a couple things in the clip on this side, but we worked that out. So yes. So just so you all know, we've got Kingdom Hustle Community, which is Patreon. But all this started out of a clothing, right? Oh my God, yes.
Aw.
Out of clothing. So we do merch. We do jackets, hoodies, hats. It is a Christian streetwear brand that gives us an opportunity to have conversation with people that are not coming in the building, that don't want to do it, been hurt by it, over church, under church, too much church, not enough church, whatever the case may be. And so Kingdom becomes our vehicle, our way of getting there. Our purpose is to help people find theirs, right? So that's what we're going to continue to do. Until the Lord returns, that's going to be our work. Yeah. You know what? I'm bringing RJ on more often. So if it gets dull and I get incoherent, he's coming on. Oh, all right. Listen, super grateful for all of you that are on tonight. I want to thank you, son. Appreciate that. Pat me on my back. Y'all don't know what that meant for me. Go ahead, pat me on my back. I'm not going down. Not gonna cry. Thank you, son. I appreciate that. My daughter's also over here, but I don't know. Do you want to come on, say hello to people? Come on, say hello to people. Hey, hold on. Y'all send hearts up if y'all want to see Jayla come on. She's a 15-year-old. She can be a bit moody. Y'all send hearts up. Is it enough hearts though? I don't know if it was enough hearts.
Yes, there was.
Is that your brother sending up
Come
hearts
on,
though?
do it again. Yeah, do it again.
Jayla, come on, Jayla.
Those in the chat. Those in the chat.
Speak up. We can hear you.
Hi, guys.
So Jayla, yes, Jayla's the other half. Listen, man, it's the whole family, man. The only person that's not over here is my wife, and she's already alluded to the fact that she does not want to come on camera. But if y'all want to see her, she hustles and prays. She hustles and prays, is killing the game. Yeah, man, she got tall. All this hair just came out from nowhere. So we're thankful. We're thankful to the Lord for all that He continues to do. So when y'all see me, know that you see them.
Yeah.
I'm really trying not to be a thug these days.
Don't forget to check our link in the bio.
Oh, we doing that again?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's pretty close.
Okay, got it. Yes. Listen, so we got it's a whole movement on this side. It's clothing, it's merch, it's community, it's kingdom, y'all. The church is different, and we've got to move where the Lord is moving, right? Church is still the church. It has left the building. Is that right? You don't know. Okay. All right. Praise God. We're still working. Yes, sir.
Okay, no.
Okay, RJ. All right, he's being creepy. All right, we're getting off now. We're starting to lose it. And they got to go to bed, right? It's time for them to go to bed. Love y'all so much. Join the community. Pray about joining the community. You got exclusive content there. Yes, we love you. The Lord loves you. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. May the grace of God and the sweet communion of his Holy Spirit rest, rule, and abide both henceforth, now, and forever. We love you. In Jesus' name, lift your hands.
Amen.
Peace.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Small world.
Those are great names, by the way. Phenomenal names. He and I are named Robert
Woods.
Woods. All right, y'all. We're out. We're losing it. All right. Peace, y'all.
Yes.
That was good way to end.
End it.